Friday, and there was very strong job growth, but most of it was actually part-time work. So we saw slower wage growth, and there was also a slowdown in the services sector. And so those are things that are de-inflationary and potentially even recessionary. And so the bond market reacted to that positively. And so we saw interest rates actually come down a lot on Friday. And then we have the core CPI, which is the consumer price index, and that's going to be coming out on this Thursday. And we expect, so the difference between regular consumer price index and the core consumer price index is the core consumer price index takes out food and energy, because those are inelastic, meaning that, those aren't something that the Fed can just, increase or cut rates and like affect that, because that's like gas and food and stuff like that. But everything else the Fed can help impact. So that core consumer price index is coming out on Thursday, and right now it sits at around 6%. And so we're expecting that it's actually being projected that's going to be going down to 5.8. So the way interest rates work, as long as what actually happens is the same or better than what's projected, then we tend to see interest rates improve. So we're really hoping that.
Carl, can you zoom in that? Because people are saying they can't see it. Can you expand that? Make it larger?
Oh, yeah. Hang on a second. Here.
Yeah, just make that screen larger. There we go.
Better?
See it. There we go. Is that better, you guys?
Is that better?
Go for it. Okay. Yes,
yeah. I'll send this deck to you like I do usually.
Yeah. You'll send the deck. I'll put it on the team preview.
Yeah. So anyway, I was saying with the consumer price index, it's most likely going to be coming down, but if it comes in at the 5.8, which is still lower than 6%, probably not much is going to happen with the interest rate market. But if it comes in at 5.7 or below, that's better. And so then the bond market's going to like that, and we'll probably see interest rates come down. But hey, look, here's the thing. Overall, we're seeing inflation come down. If inflation's coming down, interest rates are coming down. That's a direct relationship, pretty much. So as we expected, we're seeing inflation come down. There's a lot of data supporting that it's going to continue to go down. So we're really hoping that we're going to be able to see rates maybe even as low as 5% for a regular 30-year fixed come to come kind of springtime.
Which is a great rate, by the way. That's a great rate. 5% is amazing.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. Right now, it's not 5%. Right now, it's more like 6%. This is a rate update that we send out every Friday. So if you guys are interested in getting added to this, I also put a little blurb of what happened during the week, in terms of economics. It's not a lot. It's just a couple sentences, but just good if you're doing open houses or you're talking to sellers, talking to buyers. I've had people say they use this for their listing presentation to say, hey, look at what rates are doing. So it's a great value add for you guys. So if you want me to add you to that, I'd be happy to do that. And then also just wanted to kind of touch on, since Chris calls it the mortgage tip of the week, so I thought I would give you guys a little tip. So don't forget about VA loans. The maximum right now, so we love VA. VA is our favorite, by the way. That is like kind of our niche, our specialty. But the max for us to do a VA loan with zero down is $3 million. So you do a $3 million loan with zero down. Here in California, we don't necessarily need to get a full pest report. We allow for a more limited pest report, which is provided by the VA. So usually the only thing that needs to be fixed would be terrestrial damage like beetles and termites, but not dry rot. And most of the cost of the expense for repairs on a pest report is dry rot. And so these are good just myth busters too for listing agents. If you're the listing agent, or if you're making an offer the VA loan, like don't be afraid of VA. VA is a really great program. There's also what's called VA no-nos, which is kind of a funny name, but we used to do this a long time ago and now they're back. So VA no-nos are really popular in buyers markets because you can ask for seller credits to pay for the buyer's closing costs. So we've had a few deals recently where the veteran or the active duty military member didn't have to pay anything. So literally they had like the EMD was like $1,000 and then they got the EMD back at closing. So they literally came in with nothing. So you basically, do you have a question, Kirsten? Or you could ask the question, afterwards too.
Yeah.
So we have the VA no-nos. Also, I always like to point out that military borrowers tend to know and work with a lot of other potential home buyers and sellers, and they innately trust each other because, you know what I mean? They have to trust each other's lives. And so they're very loyal. So they're really, really great kind of group to work with because you can get a lot of referrals. So we get a lot of referrals from veterans. Also, there's no maximum debt to income requirement for VA. So it's something people don't know. a lot of times it's a great program for rescue deals. So if you have someone who's a baby boomer, maybe they've never used their VA benefit and they've got something wrong with the loan and you want to rescue it, we use VA loans to rescue deals sometimes. And then the last thing I wanted to point out, well, one of the last things is that VA loans are assumable. So if you guys have seen where like somebody might have a VA loan and the interest rate's like really low, like maybe it's like 2.25 or 2.5, that's an incentive for someone who is has a VA loan that they could be offering to buyers for the buyer to assume that loan. The buyer just has to be able to qualify based on the normal underwriting guidelines with the existing loan servicer. And then they could assume that loan at the 2.25 or 2.5. And in my opinion, if I were a seller, I would be pretty adamant about selling the house for more money because you might be able to add $50,000 to the price if, you know what I mean, you're offering this loan benefit that's like never going to come back or whatever, right? Or let's say like much better. And so that's a great benefit. And you don't have to be a veteran to assume a VA loan, by the way. So you could be a regular, you know, civilian and you could assume a VA loan and have the benefit of that VA loan. Now, if a civilian or anybody assumes a VA loan, the current veteran would then lose that entitlement. It doesn't necessarily mean that they won't be able to do another VA loan, but they probably won't be able to until that loan gets paid off. And that loan will probably, you know, they may carry that through the whole 30 years. You know what I mean? And then
we got a couple of questions here. Real quick,
yeah,
Carl.
sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
So we got Kristen and let's like Joanna and somebody else. So who wants to go first?
Okay, cool.
So real quick on the VA loan for the assumable. So that is only for the current loans. They only assume the current loan. So obviously prices have increased. So there's a difference between the loan value and the sale price. Have you found anyone to do that second mortgage that would be willing to do that second mortgage because they fall into second place?
So that's a great question. I have looked into that. And it is allowed, so the servicer will allow it, so you can do it.
Right.
I don't
you just haven't found anyone to do it. You have to come up with
I mean, I
could
research that and try to find someone. We have some second lien holders, and I think if it, as long as it meets the loan to value requirements, they'd probably do it. You know, but then the borrower needs to qualify with debt to income and all of that stuff. Ideal scenario is they get a gift from mom and dad. Or maybe like they borrow against retirement, or maybe, you know, a lot of people are putting down a lot. It's contingent. They're already putting down a lot. Do you know what I mean? So, and if for nothing else, it's just something really good to be kind of talking about and sharing with your clients, right? And business partners.
Awesome.
So yeah, I can look into more. I can look into that a little bit more. Kirsten, that's a great question though.
The other thing that I just wanted to earlier when I had raised my hand, it was the VA allowable. So not only just for everyone out there, know that your seller credits they don't have to just go towards closing costs for VA. They actually allow for what they call VA allowables. And we actually just had two 23-year-old boys close. They had $25,000 in seller credits, and they were able to pay off a car loan. They paid off credit cards and a whole bunch of other things because the VA allows them to do that. They actually not only got the house for free, but actually got paid to buy the house. So really cool things you can do with the VA loan. We absolutely love it.
That is thank you so much for that. That is such great information because that's true. The seller can actually pay off debt for the buyer to qualify, which VA is the only loan program where that's allowed. You don't see it too often, but I think it's more so because people don't know about it. So I think that was really good. That was a really good ad. Thank you, Kirsten. I appreciate that.
All right, got to move on real quick here. Misty, you got a question real quick. Okay. Thank you, Kirsten. Misty, you a question and better blend
no disregard. Sorry, that was an error taking it off.
Oh, no worries. All right, anybody else have a question for Carl?
Yes, hi. Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah, hi, thank you. I would like to see if you could add this information that Christy provided to your cheat sheet, please. That's really valuable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It'll all be in there. I'll add all this stuff into it, Carl.
Thank you.
And I might even add Carl to the Team Freedom Classroom so you can start inputting the stuff himself too weekly.
I appreciate it. Also,
awesome.
I would like to ask you one more question, please. Thank you. Who qualifies as a veteran? Is it only who is exactly a veteran for this kind of program? Do reservists qualify as well?
Yeah, reservists qualify, but we have to actually look at how much time they've served. So I believe it's 5 years as a reservist. Yeah, so it
Perfect.
depends. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
active duty or veterans.
Thank you.
You're
Awesome.
welcome.
Christian, Carl, please.
Hi there.
Hi, Kavenna here. So I'm actually just leaving my farm. We bought this 2-acre farm in Makaha with a VA loan, and it now cash flows, and we've rented it out. And I would like to do another VA and buy our daughter a property. What do you see as the potential with that?
Well, you have to, there's a worksheet you do to see if how much of your entitlement you've used. So if it's like kind of a bigger loan, then that might be it. But if it's a smaller loan, sometimes you can actually do what's called a second entitlement, where you can do a second VA loan. So it just depends on how big that loan is that you have on the farm. And
Okay.
you have to occupy it too. You have to live there at whatever the new property is.
Yes, which would be for a primary residence for our daughter who's going into college now here.
Mhm.
But I think the original loan was $750 and we used $600.
Yeah, so you probably used all your entitlement then,
No, we didn't use 150
or a good chunk of it anyway.
worth for a mill.
Yeah.
The equity in the property help?
Not for the next purchase, because the next purchase wouldn't, the equity in that home doesn't change your entitlement, whatever's used for the entitlement. So it's just like a worksheet. So yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Jacqueline, you got a question? Questions are coming in. Jacqueline, we got to hurry.
Yes.
We got to move on. Go ahead.
My question was, once the loan has been assumed by a non-VA, that actually has to be paid off before the entitlement is restored, correct?
Well, if it's being assumed, the entitlement's not going to be restored.
So even if they pay off the loan, the next buyer, that entitlement is not going to be restored after that loan's paid off?
When the loan gets paid off, then you can restore the entitlement.
Okay.
Yeah, but if they're assuming it, it won't be paid off, right?
Right. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like, whenever they pay off the loan, like, it would be restored, correct?
Yes.
Or-
Yeah. Yeah. You just, we file for that, and then it's not a big deal. And we have that all the time when someone's selling and buying. It just takes like a day. So it's not a big deal. Yeah. To restore entitlement. Anything else?
Okay.
Are we guys,
one
you
more
guys
question.
always call me
We got to do
too.
one more question. Yeah, we got to do one more question. We got time for that. One more.
Okay, cool.
Who is it, Brandy?
Can't you convert your VA to a conventional so you can reuse it and turn that into like an investment property?
Yes, you could refinance the VA loan into a conventional, and then you can reuse your V entitlement can be used over and over again. I also like to point out that, especially of the younger generation of veterans in active duty, a lot of them have a disability. I don't know if they encourage them to just report whatever the injuries they've had or whatever, but most of them, I would say more than 50% have a disability. So they don't have that funding fee, that kind of big fee you might hear about. They don't have that. So a lot of the borrowers we work with don't have that, which is great. Yeah. You're welcome, Brandy.
Awesome. All right. We got to move on, Carl. That's it for today. We can't do it. So thank you so much for yes, always. And then we'll put this information on the stream for the Google Classroom so you guys can plug into that. And I'm going to actually start inviting Carl into the Google Classroom to put all his data and content in there as well, so you can have access to that and his contact information too. So awesome. Thank you, Carl. You're always amazing, my friend. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Okay. So today's speaker, we have an amazing gentleman here, Leo Robles. Leo, are you still here, buddy? I hope he is. He was here earlier. Are we, did we good? Or do we... Oh, there you are. Awesome.
Yep, absolutely.
So I've met, Leo's been with us at EXP now for like a little over 4 years now, right, Leo? I think I met you the very first time at one of our very first Brent Go events in Phoenix. In the back of the room, he was there, and this guy is a hustler. And his team, EXP team, I think closed over 5,000 units this year, $3.1 billion in volume. Ridiculous. So great to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking time and sharing. And this guy, if you're not sharing, watching him on Instagram, this guy's got amazing reels. Like every day, I watch him. They're so insightful. So, anyways, without further ado, take it away, Leo. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Chris. Definitely been a fan of yours since I met you. When Brent introduced us on a Zoom a couple of times, it's like, this guy, you got to meet Chris. So I'm very excited to be here. Very grateful to be amongst all of you. Team Freedom, right? Team Freedom.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Love the name. And I love the way you started off the meeting. Sorry about that. I got a little alarm. Give me 1 second. It's alarming what I'm saying. That's what I caused the alarm, I guess. Give me 1 second, okay? 1 second, guys. There we go. It's good. So what I was going to say is I love the way that you started off the meeting as well about, tell me something good, right? Because what is always available is the good, and it's always available is obviously everything else that's not working out. And I think what tends to be in front of our forefront in our thinking is what we focus on. Whatever we focus on it expands, constantly. So I could share so much today, and I would love to just, if there's something that's like right there that you would like to hear about, I want to make sure that you guys are walking away with a ton of value. You guys are saying, you guys already got a ton of value, by the way. I've been listening into what Carl was sharing, what Chris was sharing, right? You guys are all sharing some really awesome value. I want to make sure that I do the same thing for you guys. So what can I offer? What can I share about? What can I expand upon? Agent attraction, growth, anything's on the table, actually. Anything I could contribute. That way I could focus in on the conversation. What would be that for you guys?
Well, I would say first off, anybody, I'd love to see, I watch you constantly right now. I watch your movement. Your team is doing amazing. Just your other team you've built in San Diego and Anaheim. Production wise, you guys are crushing it just within your own team, not your personal team. Some of the stuff, insights that you guys run into in Southern California, maybe your market, obviously it's the same across the board for all of us, but what are you guys doing differently to plug in to give to your agents, to your team over there, to help them kind of get themselves launched for this year and start crushing it?
Love it, brother. Thank you. And my alarm came in and out, so I had to mute myself. So interesting thing, I don't know if you guys keep track of expireds, but I keep track of expireds every week, right? Because I'm doing a weekly market update like you guys are doing here, and I'm doing that on a weekly basis on Mondays at 10 o'clock with my team. 2,900 expireds. And I'm in California, right? So LA County, Riverside, San Bernardino, Orange, and San Diego. These 5 counties, we had 2,900 expireds. The other thing is that average days in the market, I keep track of it weekly, right? Average days in the market was between 18 and 20 days. Now, sorry about that. We have 40 to 45 days on average, days on the market on average. That's what I'm seeing as well, right? So what I'm doing that is really, sorry about this, man. Hold on 1 second. All right, cool. I'm like, is there an alarm going on or not? Damn. All right, cool. Awesome. So thank you guys. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm bringing value every week, just like you guys are doing here, right? I'm doing a weekly market update. I'm also doing a content creator mastermind where I'm learning from the best of the best in my group that is like, crushing it on social, right? So on a weekly basis, I interview somebody that's crushing it. It's a rock star. And then I do a team leader training. Like those are the 3 things that I specifically am accountable for. And then I have a couple of other people that have now developed themselves, whether it be listings or skill building or role play and things like that. So we have an average of 10 calls a week that are set up for the entire organization. And one of the things that we're really doing is getting everybody dialed in, plugging in, like just like you guys are here, right? I think there's 36 of you guys here. My encouragement is to plug in and become a sponge, learn every single day as much as you possibly can, and do not watch the media, do not watch the news. There's a lot of the negative narrative is very, very, very robust. Gary Vee just said this recently, and I just wanted to share that, and I keep sharing it on every. He said this, and you may agree with everything he said, or maybe not, but this message was really good. He said that negativity, the reason why it's winning is because they're better marketers. They're the negative news. They're better marketers than the positive individuals, right? So if you have a positive message in your heart, share it, right? Share it, right? It doesn't matter if you get 1 like, 2 likes, 3 likes, whatever it is. Share your message, right? If you're impacting one individual, that's basically all that matters. I started off with that methodology 4 years ago when I started with DXP. I left a leadership position at Keller Williams. Now, for those of you that don't know my story, I'm doing this for 17 years. I've had the opportunity to serve a ton of families, almost 2,000 in my career. I found DXP through a friend named Rosie Rodriguez, which maybe some of you already know. And she reached out to me, interesting enough, she just invited me to lunch. That's all she did. She invited me to lunch. We sat down, we talked, and she said, at the end of the conversation, hey, I'm pretty excited about a new project in real estate. I want to share it with you. It was kind of like the save me beta test that she was running on me, right? I didn't know this at the time, but she was kind of like sharing it from that perspective. I'm really excited about it. You as my friend, I want you to check it out for me. And I did. I looked at it and I was going to pick it apart. And that's my intention. And I was going to tell her all of the reasons why this was a terrible idea. And, you know, after I watched the model, I absolutely loved it. Right. And that got me curious. And then she introduced me to a couple of other, you know, amazing people like Rick Jiha, Brent Gove, obviously, which you guys all know, and Gene Frederick. I was introduced to a community of very powerful, amazing people. And after I did my due diligence, I said, like, you know what? The platform makes a lot of sense. The leadership makes a lot of sense. I'm like, leadership is my favorite part. Like, I'm going to do this. And things that I did to get started, I followed the Rotflick model, which is the wealth chart. That's what I did from the beginning. I didn't do anything super crazy. I just literally did the wealth chart. I put in all of the names of all of the people that I wanted to be in business with. And still to this day, a lot of, like, I would say about 85% of everybody I wrote down on that list is here. And I would say 15% are still, like, I'm still in the works. They're still coming over. But these are brokerages. Like, I've been able to onboard entire brokerages to our movement. So I would say don't discard anybody, right? Obviously, if you guys are a values match, right? If it's somebody that, like, you know what, I want to be in business with somebody like this, and, you know, they're bringing value to the real estate community, don't give up on people. That would be one really, like, nugget that I would say. Because I think a lot of us, especially when I didn't understand this model in the beginning, I would talk to people, get really excited, and then I would kind of move on to the next person. I didn't follow up. I know some people say you shouldn't follow up. I follow up. I've been able to onboard the majority of the brokerages that have partnered with me, where brokerages with 50, 60, 80 agents. I've prospected them for 2 to 3 or 4 years. I have one that's coming over with 60 agents in the next month that I've been prospecting for 4 years, but it's about adding value and building the relationship. You have to have that kind of mindset. The same thing you're doing as, you know, you're building your real estate business, by the way, right? You're adding value and building the relationship, and you're creating referrals. So that's the main thing. And in the beginning, I made a lot of uncomfortable calls, right? A lot of uncomfortable calls. I got a lot of rejection. I got a lot of people that, you know, that hung up on me. They said, oh my God, you're calling me about EXP, blah, blah, blah. I didn't care. I still kept following up with them. I still kept in touch with them. I still, I literally can show you guys chains of text messages, and I have many that I've, like, left me unread, and then eventually when I call them up, like my buddy Ishmael that joined me a year ago, he was like 3.5 years into it, and I called him up, you know, December to wish him Merry Christmas, and it was like, hey, what's up, bro? How's everything going? I'm like, everything's going great. Hey, tell me about this EXP thing again. How much does it cost? I'm like, it's $149 to start. He's like, well, what are the splits? 80-20 split, 16,000 a cap. Can you come tomorrow to my office so you can break it down to my team? And that literally was it, right? We could say that it was, you know, it was 3.5 years, but it was that one moment that I caught him at the perfect time. So agent attraction is going to be all about timing, right? So it's not up to us, by the way, to figure that timing out. Everybody has their own time. So we have to be patient with the individuals and also be proactive about continuing to funnel new agents or new partnerships in the mix. I ran and I've taught all of my agent partners a very simple model. It's a 2-10-40. If you're KW background, I mean, that's 2-10-40, right? 2 appointments a day, 10 appointments a week, 40 appointments a month. Like, if everything else failed, you had 2 appointments a day, 10 appointments a week, 40 appointments a month, you're going to be doing good. You can apply that model, by the way, for obviously production, agent attraction. I'm running a 2-10-40 on videos. That's why Chris is talking about, dude, how are you doing? I'm doing 2 videos a day. I'm running a 2-10-40 on videos. And many of you guys already know John Chaplack. I coach with John, and I had him in a mastermind. And I was doing, before I heard him say this, I was doing 1 video a week. I was doing 1 reel. I would just think about the content. I was just doing 1 reel a week. I was like, for a month. And then he said, you guys right now have to be louder than ever. The coaches is a John Chaplack. You have to be louder than ever. And he said this. He said, you should be doing 2 videos a day. He told this to the whole group. I'm the only one that actually did it, though. And there was a group of about 20 of us. But I took that as like, oh, you're challenging me to do 2 videos a day? I'm like, got it. I'll do it. I'll do 2 videos a day. At first, I was like, how am I going to do 2 videos a day? But what is interesting is that now that I'm doing the 2 videos a day, not only are my videos getting better, I'm getting more ideas than I ever have. I'm getting more creative, and I'm constantly looking for new content ideas. I'm having a conversation. I'm like, Oh my God, that's a great idea. This is a video, right? And it's 60 seconds, by the way, 60-second videos that are just adding value. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing, and I literally did more videos in December than I did in the last 2 years. That's how many videos I did in just December. And I'm posting those videos, right, on a horizontal, and I'm using my phone, by the way, just standing in front of the camera, 60 seconds. And I am posting it on Instagram Reels. I'm posting it on YouTube Shorts as well. YouTube Shorts also are very, very powerful. You guys should be duplicating your content on YouTube Shorts. I'm also utilizing that same format, and I'm posting it on LinkedIn. It works on LinkedIn too. I'm posting it there. I'm posting it also on YouTube. Well, from YouTube, I also share it on Twitter, right? So I share that there, and TikTok as well. And I just started building up my TikTok. I have a friend that actually has 11 million fans on TikTok. So I'm learning a lot from this guy. But I'm just dabbling into that. But I'm just literally copying and doing the same thing on TikTok. So I am just literally just broadcasting it everywhere. So just to give you guys some perspective, in that 1 month, I had almost 80,000 people that watched my stuff with all the different platforms, right? And I accumulated all the views. So imagine how many conversations, I mean, 80,000, imagine how long it's going to take you to have 80,000 conversations. That's crazy, right? And that, again, I'm a month into it, right? I counted the views on Instagram, TikTok, on Shorts, on all the 1,000+ views in 1 month, right? So what's that going to do? What's that going to quantify? Because I'm running this model all year long. I'm going to do 500 videos this year. That's my commitment. And I'm vocalizing it to you guys. There's 33 of you guys in here. I'm holding myself accountable, right? I'm talking about my goals constantly. And there's no secret sauce for the agent attraction. You got to get on the phone. You got to get in conversation. You got to be willing to say things badly, but you cannot, Brent always says this, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, right? Get out there and have conversations with people. One of the things that I'm also doing, I'm doing the 21040 for my video content, but what I'm doing for my prospecting for appointments, I'm doing a 525-100. 5 appointments a day, 25 appointments a week, 100 appointments a month. That's what I did this year. That's what I'm doing this year. And by the way, which is really interesting, when I was running the 21040 model, I kind of took, you know, it would take me all day to get 2 appointments. Right now that I have 5 in mind, I got 2 appointments like in 30 minutes. And then next thing you know, I'm like, I got another 2. I had yesterday, I got 4 appointments. I didn't even hit my 5, but I got 4. I'm like, that's for me, that's double that I was doing before, just by me putting a larger goal, right? So some people kind of say, well, you know what, make your goals really realistic and make them like whatever you think you should hit. I'm wired differently. My brain works. I got to push myself past like my comfort. 21040 for me is like, oh, I could do that pretty easy. I'm not as inspired by it. 525, 100, sheesh, man, that's going to push me out of my comfort zone. Who do I need to become for that, right? The one thing, I think somebody mentioned the morning miracle here earlier in the call. You guys got to dial in your yes, Carl, dude, you guys got to dial in your morning routine. Like that is imperative for your success with everything you're doing. Because when you're talking to each person, if your energy is not spot on, you could have one conversation with one person. If your energy was not right, that person might decide not to be in business with you, right? So I think that the greatest ROI is you being inspired, being excited, being inspirational, being valuable, right? And that's going to be from you going to you first and basically making yourself that most important person, right? Making sure you're checking yourself energetically. That way, when you're actually doing the prospecting, and by the way, I'm generating these appointments by sending direct messages on Instagram. I'm making calls to my friends. I'm not cold calling. I'm just like sending direct messages right now. By the way, you guys can be a lot more direct, right? So be more direct right now. Before I was like, hey, I would love to sit down for you for a cup of coffee. Right now, I'm like, hey, Jacqueline, I see you're doing great. I would love the opportunity to share with you the benefits of our company. Are you available today or tomorrow? Literally, that direct approach has gotten me all those appointments. Right now, people are open to learning, right? People are open. So if I'm saying that kind of language, well, number one, I'm setting up appointments, but number two, when they say like, oh, I'm not, I got one person that said, oh, I'm not quite. Video paused. Hold on a second. I think we're pausing. Are we good? You guys hear me? All right, cool. Okay, cool. So what I was saying is like, I when they said, oh, I'm not quite ready, I said, no problem. I said, I would love the opportunity to still meet with you to see how I can add value to your business. And I want to get to know you better and your goals. And if it ever comes up in the future, I would love to be an option. You got to be very unattached. I don't take that as a fail. You still want to get in front of them. Are you still, like, if somebody asks you, it's kind of like in come on, if you guys are listing homes, you know, sellers, the one objective is you got to get in front face to face with them as quickly as you possibly can. Some of those sellers are going to transact right away. Some of those sellers are going to transact 2 years out. You got to, if you understand listings, you understand recruiting. You got to have the same mindset. You got to farm. You got to build a pipeline. And I know that Team Freedom, you guys, your goals is like, hey, you got to add 10 people to your organization this year. Don't shoot for 25, right? Shoot for 25, right? If you guys get 10, fantastic. You guys still crushed it, right? But shoot for 25, aim for 25. What kind of energy and rigor would you need to have to do that? That's what I would say would be the number one thing, right? Brent always tells me, like, you want to have a massive leap in the organization, sponsor 25 as quickly as you possibly can. So 25, it might take you a whole year to do it. But what if you played the game to sponsor 25 agents in 30 days? Right? What if you just allowed yourself to think that, by the way? I know that you're probably like, what the, you know, like that's 25 in 30 days. Yes. But allow yourself to think that, and allow yourself to be creative and to think about the ideas of what you would need to do to actually attract 25 agents in 30 days, right? Just give yourself permission to think about it. Because in this new economy, I think that the two biggest attributes right now that we can have is being creativity, right? That's a huge attribute to have, and alarming, right? Alarming. It's not very alarming. Give me a second. So it's being creative and intention with everything. Set an intention when you're meeting with somebody. Set an intention when you're picking up the call. Set an intention when you're, again, like my intention is to attract 25 agents in the next 30 days. Allow your creativity to give you a bunch of new ideas. And many of those ideas, by the way, won't work. One of them, though, could work and could change everything. Right. One of the things that I'm also like heavily, diving into right now, which I don't know if a lot of you guys are, I'm an idea generator, right? I don't know if maybe you guys are idea generators, but the implementation aspect of actually dialing it in and scripting it out, that is a little hard for me. I've been using ChatGTP. That thing has been game changer. If you guys are not using ChatGTP right now, it was released November 30th. In 5 days, I feel attacked, right? Yeah, ChatGTP. I will drop it in here. ChatGTP is going to change our world. It's AI. You can literally, if you want a script for a buyer, 2 seconds. Script for a seller, script for prospecting. You want a newsletter content. If you want top 10 ideas to generate a business, like click, done. Let me show you guys this real quick. I'm gonna give you guys a little this, I wasn't even thinking of sharing this, but I just got the idea right now. So let me just how can I
Yeah,
share?
you can share. So just down at the bottom of that box that has the arrow, I think, on it. At the bottom, it says present now.
All right, check this out. You guys can see my screen?
Yeah, Chat GPT.
Okay, so create a script for a 60-second video on the top 3 ways to lead generate as a realtor. I don't know why I'm doing caps, by the way. Sorry. I'm not angry, I promise.
Excited.
Check this out. Sure. Here's a script. 60 seconds on the top 3 ways to generate lead a realtor. Opening shot. A realtor sitting on the desk, looks determined, speaks directly to the camera. Realtor. Generating leads is essential for any real estate agent looking to build their business. In this video, I'm going to share with you the top 3 ways to generate leads as a realtor. Boom. Cut to number 1, networking. First and foremost, networking is a key. Attend local events and join organizations to get your name out there and connect with potential clients. Visual, it even tells you a little visual cut. Number 2, online presence. Secondly, having a strong online presence. Are you guys seeing this?
Yeah, that's crazy. Literally a scary but crazy.
Are you guys
Like,
seeing?
this is like Siri on steroids.
Yes, exactly. I actually built an ebook in 2 hours. An ebook. In 2 hours, I made an ebook. Again, if you guys are telling me, I don't know what video to do, literally, I just gave it to you guys right now. I gave you guys the content video idea. You guys can literally have 25 video ideas. Give me 25 hooks for video ideas right now, and you will have that dialed in like this. You just become a lot more valuable to your real estate partners, number 1. Number 2, you're going to never run out of content. But again, use your creativity. That's why I said those two most important attributes are creativity and intention, right? ChatGPT works, and AI, all this, all the world, the way it's going to work now in the future, it's going to be with creativity and intention. You need to the language that you use, right? You're going to be able to infuse your business with innovation like this, but you need to have the creativity to create it, and then the intention. Like, what's the intention that you have, right? It could be an outline for a new ebook. It could be like I even have another one that creates an entire slideshows within seconds. Like, there's so many things right now. I've been diving so deep into this because, again, it's making me perform at an optimal level. I'm lit up about this thing right now. So that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. But video ideas, done. Scripts, done. Newsletter content, done. Everything done. Like, no questions, no excuses. You guys can get that done today. Every single thing. You guys are not going to be able to sleep. You guys can thank me for that, because that's what happened. Like,
can you imagine if you're a high school kid nowadays? You could write my book report on that history course I do not like. Boom, there it is. Book report done.
Yeah,
dude, I get an A all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Cheating, yeah. You got so I'm just saying, like, use this for your advantage, right? But I mean, I would say if you guys are creating content, if you guys even if you guys like, how do I approach realtors? A script. Do it. Seconds. It's gonna take you guys seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. You guys got to use that. It's free, by the way.
It's free.
like, can I say anything else? Right. I mean, that is, like, I would say use that tool, learn it, develop your language, right? Courses that have made a big difference for me. I'm an avid reader, right? I read this book called The Power of Awareness. I just finished this book with Neville Goddard. Great book. But I'm reading something every week, right? The other thing is, like, what if you wanted the top 10 points for that book? You can click and get the top 10 points for that book. Any book that you can, like, I haven't read that book. Give me the top 10 points for that book right now. Give me the top 10 books for anything. Like, guys, I'm telling you, your learning is going to quantify right now. It's going to be like on another level. I don't know if I told you guys my theme for the year, but my theme for 2023, because I'm very intentional with the words that I use, right? Last year, my theme was the year of quantum leaps. That was my theme, like those 2 words. Like, this is going to be the year of quantum leaps. Everywhere, everything that I do is around that intention of quantum leaps. This year, my intention and commitment is prosperity unleashed. That's those 2 words that I'm using this year, right? And again, connected to the way that you're being, right? Bringing value. That has to be at the forefront of everything you do, right? Prosperity unleashed. Yes, yes. And borrow it, steal it, use it. Like, I've been sharing it with everybody just because, look, prosperity is available for everybody. There's no limitations. There's no scarcity in prosperity. Prosperity is abundant, right? Prosperity unleashed. So sponsor 25 agents as quickly as possible. Get super intentional. Run the 2-10-40 model. Do the wealth chart if you haven't done that. Miracle morning, like Carl said. Focus on your energy, the way you're being every single day. Because, again, if you're making calls and you're like, hey, Brandy, how you doing? Wanted to see if you're maybe interested in EXP. No, I'm not interested. Like, I'm already not interested, right? Again, you have to make your and be you and be a little more energetic, I would say. Bring your energy up, right? When you're talking to people, because people are going to gravitate to people that are that are energetic. Well chart. Missed that if
We can
somebody
do it. Yeah, we got it. It'll be on the Team Freedoms classroom. I put on there.
You guys got to do that. That's your business plan, by the way. So that's going to be your chart. You have to fill it out. And the wealth chart, there's also a training that Rob Flick did for an hour. You want to make sure you're doing those two things. What else? Guys, prospecting, events also, I mean, like the way I looked at it when I partnered with EXP 4 years ago, I looked at it as a region, right? LA, Riverside, San Bernardino, Orange County. Like I looked at this as a region. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I have most leadership, most agent partners, right? So take your area wherever you are and find your partners. Find your partners. Like you're running a region. Like consider yourself a regional director. Every single one of you today is a regional director, and your objective is to find those partners, those team leaders that are going to help you to build this region with you. Who's your tribe? Right? Who's your tribe? Who do you want to attract? Who do you want to run with? You need a running mate, by the way. If you don't have a running mate for your organization just yet, you need a running mate. You need somebody that you're collaborating with, that you're running with, right? For me, that's my girl. She's my running mate. She has almost 800 agents under her leadership, right? She's my running mate. And she's the queen of events. Like she's the one that helps me. I put up together these ideas again, right? Like I know I said earlier, right? I'm an idea generator. She helps me to implement a lot of these ideas, right? With events, especially. So start small. I started doing events at my office. One of my guys was crushing it on listings. He signed 23 listings in 30 days. I was like, dude, that's crazy. I said, let's do a class around that. I had 100 people show up to the office for that, right? And then so just yes, it says, is your girl someone you
yes. Hopefully it's his revenue share.
I did. Yeah. So she was interesting enough. She was one of the 3 yeses that joined me, 4 years ago, right? I first had to get my girl convinced, like, all right, cool, we're doing this. And the other 2 gals were on my team. Every single one of them said no to me initially. It took me like 2 months for me to like really get them to see it. And they finally all bought into it, right? But it's honestly, guys, you guys gotta just be intentional, get excited. Right now, people need us to like our leadership is needed more than ever right now. It's needed more than ever. Like I want you guys to shine brightly and get louder out there. Get intentional about having conversations because you already know this company's changing lives. Get intentional about changing somebody's life. Like that's how I look at it. When I'm having conversations with somebody, no matter what they say, like I'm changing your life, no matter if you know it or not just yet. It's okay. It's cool, right? You got to have that intentionality. But I'll pause. I don't know. I think we have a couple of more minutes, but I'll pause. Any questions, anything I can expand upon or clarify? I can keep going, obviously, but I'd love to kind of just check in.
Yeah, first off, I love that chat thing you did, the chat GT, whatever that chat GPP, whatever that was. Yeah, that's definitely I think for doing videos, the biggest challenge people is not maybe doing the videos, but it's definitely finding content to make the video. So that just solved that problem right there.
That's why I wanted to show it. Thank you, man. I wanted to show you guys that. Yeah, I wanted to remove all obstacles, all objections. Like, okay, I don't have content. You literally have a script. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
The script.
Sasha, go for it, Sasha.
Just wondering, what has been your most viewed area of content? Like, is it buyers? Is it sellers? Is it your reels? On like what specific subject are you getting the most interaction with?
So, right, my content, great question, Sasha. My content is geared towards agent attraction. So what I'm doing is I'm just focusing on like bringing inspirational content. Like I think I did one yesterday, and my video yesterday was thoughts become things. Right, I had that idea. Right, I had that idea. Thoughts become things, and I just got in front of the camera. 60 seconds, boom. Thoughts become things, and whatever came up for me. Right, authentic, genuine. It could be 30 seconds, by the way. It doesn't have to be 60 seconds. Right now, even stuff that's 10 to 15 seconds is doing really well too. So I don't have any reference as far as like sellers and buyers. My agents are doing that when they're attracting buyers and sellers, and it's totally working. But put it in a reel format, like for sure. The moral of the story: use the reels. There's a lot of organic views, that are happening there. One of my gals that followed that, she's in commercial. One of her videos went viral and it had almost 50,000 views. And she was in the office. Like it wasn't even good lighting. I don't even think she had captions. Like, it was just like the information she shared was really powerful for like renters and tenants. Yeah. So that's what I would say.
I just want to say right now, like, yeah, just want to piggyback. My partner, actually, my girl is my partner. She's just the same as yours. I'm the vision guy, Leo. She's the grounding person. She brings me down. I'm like that hot air balloon, and she brings me back down and grounds me. But she's been doing videos and showed, like, was that 50,000 views in yours too, babe? I think it was. Yeah, it was like 50,000 things.
Yeah, it's at 62,000.
Oh my God. That's what I'm
It was
talking
not
about.
one that I expected. It had my dog in it.
There you go. There you go.
Crazy, right?
You know, isn't that amazing though? Like, and that's what I've been learning about posting so much content, right? Like, my learning was like one reel a week. I was learning 4 times a month. Right now I'm learning twice a day, right? So I'm like getting instant feedback from the marketplace as to what stuff they're liking. And like Marissa just said, like, you don't know which video is going to go crazy. Like, one of them might just take off, but just share it anyways. Share it, share it. And just get out of your own way. Yeah. Go ahead.
Eric, you got a question, Eric?
Yeah, I got a quick question. Hey, Leo. So you were talking about DMing people through, I'm assuming Instagram. Is that your top of funnel? Are you getting your traffic that way for your lead gen?
Yeah, totally. And it's because, like, again, the one thing that's I don't even know it's because of the time of the year. It's because I'm posting more content, and I think it has to do with everything. But yes, I'm focusing on Instagram, the people that are watching and viewing my stuff, or they engage with my stuff, and I'm sending them a direct message. So yes, that, and just reaching out obviously to people that, like, on the phone, talking to them on the phone, right? So those are the 2 things that I'm using the most. And then I'm infusing everything, by the way. Like, what we're really doing, by the way, guys, is we're building an email list. That's what we're doing, right? So you want to make sure that you have everybody's email, and you want to make sure that they're getting like this class, by the way, you could extract it, upload it on a YouTube video, and send it out as a weekly newsletter update. And you can obviously share it with everybody in your organization, but also the people that are not in your organization. Share them the type of collaboration that's happening, right? I tell everybody this: we can't talk about collaboration. We have to demonstrate collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cool. I think did somebody else pose another question?
Sasha, you got another question? Nope. Okay. She says she's good. Awesome.
I think Brandy.
Brandy, does anybody else know?
Hey, yeah, I just had a quick question. So are you doing like job listings too for like, hey, we're recruiting agents, like looking for new agents? Like, do you do advertisements like that? Because I noticed that there was some in Texas that there was some EXP agents like posting like a job listing, which I thought was kind of genius because that's an easy way to grow your team for newbies and stuff like that. So would you do a video for that, or would you just post it like a job listing on like Indeed? Like, how would you handle that?
I would say, and I think Indeed, like, there's very particular, I think, I'm not doing stuff like that. I got teams under my organization that do for their teams, right? So you have to have the post be about joining your team. I don't think you can post like, you got to join my EXP team. So it has to be like your team, right? That has to be the methodology, the language. But I would say, just a simple job posting, like, hey, what is the value prop? Like leads, accountability, structure, things like that. That's what I would say for sure.
Thanks.
I like it. Hey, Bo, you had a couple things. You're a pretty techie guy. What were you saying there? A couple things, Bo?
Yeah, I don't know who put that, but I just recommended not subscribing to each other's consumer residential social media platforms, because it sets up the algorithm to think that you're trying to get other realtors' attention. So if I'm YouTube and I'm trying to get residential consumers, I don't want any of you to subscribe to my channel, because it's using my subscriber base that likes and subscribes to then decide who do I present this video to, this content to. So if you do agent attraction, then we should all subscribe to each other's agent attraction channel, because we all have realtor digital profiles. Digital DNA is what I call it. And so when we all subscribe to each other, we're all realtors. We do things that realtors do. We have cookies. I don't know if that's a technical term, but we have cookies in our browsing history that show we are realtors. We act like realtors. So my YouTube channel is for for trying to get realtor agent attraction will start showing it to other realtors because I have realtors subscribing to me. So it's positive or negative depending on how you use it.
Yeah, your intention. Yeah, great point, Bo. Great point. Absolutely.
Great
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I like
Yep.
that.
That
Awesome.
makes a lot of sense.
Cool.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we are literally at the top of the hour. Leo, amazing. Thank you, my friend. Gosh, I love watching your journey. And you have an amazing energy, my friend. And I remember us shaking hands and high-fiving the very first time. And you're like, dude, I'm going to build this. I'm like, you get it. And you have. You definitely have brought it to fruition. So I'm proud of you and excited. And glad to be in business with you. And again, understand the power of EXP here, everybody. This is the ability to have people like this that join the meetings and collaborate. This is part of a community. We are not alone. This is an entire freaking flagship of talent that all over the country. Leo happens to be in California, but we have people all over the country that come here and jump on these calls. So every week, thank you, Leo. Appreciate your time.
Man. Appreciate your time as well. Thank you guys all for your time. Appreciate
it. We'll see everybody again next week. Again, see you. Don't forget EXP Explain on Thursday. And Mondays are scripts class, everybody. Time to sharpen your skills is now. It is time to sharpen your skills. The one that sharpens their skills will definitely trump the people who are not. That is what this market's about, skill-based. So let's improve our skills. But I love you all, and I will see you all again next week. Have an amazing week, and stay dry if you're in California. Love you guys. Thank you, Carl. Love you guys.
That's
Have a good
right.
day.
Take care. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Stop recording.